United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
And right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask, and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course. But when you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing. Getting back to your first question, which was what about a month or so, or 2 or 3 ago, when people were saying you don't really need to wear a mask? Well, the reason for that is that we were concerned, the public health community, and many people were saying this, were concerned that it was at a time when personal protective equipment, including the N95 masks and the surgical masks, were in very short supply. And we wanted to make sure that the people, namely the healthcare workers, who were brave enough to put themselves in harm's way to take care of people who you know were infected with the coronavirus and the danger of them getting infected, we did not want them to be without the equipment that they needed. So there was not enthusiasm about going out and everybody buying a mask or getting a mask. We were afraid that that would deter away from the people who really needed it. Now we have masks. We know that you don't need an N95 if you're a person, ordinary person in the street. We also know that simple cloth coverings that many people have can work as well as a mask in many cases. So right now, unequivocally, the recommendation is when you're out there, particularly if you're in a situation where there's active infection, keep the distance physically and wear a mask. So although there appeared to be some contradiction of you were saying this then and why you're saying this now, actually the circumstances have changed.
All right, so you saw for yourself the past 2 clips I showed. What I don't understand is why didn't this midget lion piece of crap, demon-possessed mad scientist, eugenist, who wants to control the genome of other human being, why didn't he say from the beginning, wear a piece of cloth and save the masks, leave them for those frontline doctors and nurses and so forth? Why didn't he just say that from the beginning? See, I don't have a problem with this lying bastard that's been in charge of our pandemic the past few months and been ahead of this virus control thing for the past 40 years, serving 6 different presidents. Why don't these nitwits, those morons, you see them everywhere on Facebook and other social media outlets like Twitter and so forth, why don't they call him out on this lie like they do Trump? And believe me, I'm not a fan of Trump either. He's a lying bastard too. I could care less. But why don't they call him out on this when he lied? He lied. It's a flat lie. I remember this. It was only a few months ago. I can't imagine people forget. He said the circumstances changed, but nothing changed. We have a pandemic. It's a pandemic, really, in my opinion, just like we did when he came out and says, you don't need mask. And he was going like this, quote unquote, don't wear masks, you don't need them. He was mocking if you wear a mask. This is this midget, demon-possessed Fauci, who's not a scientist, by the way, nor a doctor, never sees any patients. He lied. Why don't people call him out on this lie? And he corrects today, I think it was yesterday, he corrected Trump. How could a liar correct another liar? This guy should be in jail, if you think about it. This is serious business. He should be in jail. This is the guy that is ahead of our pandemic issue, which shut down the whole country. That's why this country is going down. because they let idiots like this run their lives, and they never do one iota of research. They listen to what the news outlet, the news media tell them, and they repeat it. That's the problem. And they're not consistent. They see somebody's lie, but they don't see the other person's lie. You don't see Nancy Pelosi at the hair salon without a mask while she was preaching mask wearing. See, it's these things, you gotta be honest. It's those dishonest people that take one side and never look at the other side. And if you disagree with them, that's why. We don't have enough honesty in this world anymore. Such a shame that we have to fight with each other about silly things that are so apparent if you can just be honest with yourself.